How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now on today's show, we're going to be talking about Manchester United and the possibility of Gareth Southgate becoming new manager. We're going to have a little brief look at Chelsea and their financial records under Roman Abramovich. And the last piece of news is that Tomiyasu has signed a new contract at Arsenal.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So the first place we're going to start is Manchester United, and some news over the last couple of days or so. I don't know whether it's the fact that it's the international break and everything seems a little bit slow in the world of football in terms of news, so they need to find stories. But one of the stories that has been emerging is the possibility of Gareth Southgate taking over from Erik ten Hag next season. Now, they have a new owner, Manchester United, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and there's been a few snippets from an interview over the last few days that I've been looking at. And there's some interesting stuff that he does actually say in there. And yeah, he actually was asked a question as well about, who does he think would win the Premier League this season between Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal. And he actually said that he doesn't like any of them. And I got no issues with that. If you're an owner of a club, you hate everybody. You only care about yourselves. But he did go on to say that he thinks it would be brilliant for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal if they were able to win it, given the fact that the board gave him time. But yeah, that's quite a statement in a way, because will he give Erik ten Hag time? Now, you know what it's like. New owner comes in, they have their own ideas, they have their own people. This is the issue. And there could be that connection with Ineos and everything else. But yeah, Gareth Southgate is being mentioned. Now, of course, we do have a big tournament for England in the summer, and that could well be Gareth Southgate's last one. We were able to actually win that. I don't think we actually will, because Gareth Southgate is the manager. And I'm sorry, but this is a guy that's had some of the best players in this country at his disposal. We've got a generation of players right now that you should be winning things. And I know we get to a final and we lose to Italy and everything else, but if you go back to that game against Italy, it was the tactics and the way we played and the way we set up and the things we do that all contributed to us losing. And Gareth Southgate is fundamental to that. I watched the football that England play, and it's boring. It's genuinely boring. It's just so tiresome watching England. Even in major tournaments, you get up for those big tournaments and you always get that little air of, can we do it? But ultimately we don't, because we fail, and just the football we play is not great. And, if he goes to Manchester United, I'm going to be sitting there thinking to myself, well, I'm not really worried about Manchester United doing anything moving forward, because they've got Gareth Southgate as manager. I don't think he's better than Ten Hag. I don't rate Ten Hag. And I don't know how Manchester United fans feel about it. He's clearly got favourites. There's clearly something about him in that sense. Look at the fact for how long that Calvin Phillips was getting into the England squad. Look at how long Harry Maguire's been getting into the England squad. Jordan Henderson. Players that should be nowhere near the squads. And yet it's favouritism, and he leaves out players that are in form, and it's just so questionable. I'd love to get to know the thoughts of Manchester United fans. Do you want Gareth Southgate to replace Erik ten Hag at the end of the season? Be interesting to see where Manchester United finish. They could well finish 5th, and that could well be a Champions League place, because, this country is going to be given an extra one if they finish in a certain category. And at the moment, they're in that, position where a 5th place will be given. But even 5th place for Manchester United is still going to be difficult when you look at how many points they're behind Spurs and Aston Villa. And it looks very much like those two are the ones fighting out for 4th and 5th. The top 3 for me is the top 3. That's just the way that it will be. Who finishes where, we don't know yet. 4th and 5th, Villa and Spurs. And then you've kind of got, you know, Manchester United and a few others all fighting for 6th and 7th, in my opinion. Unless the team goes on an unbelievable run and someone has a meltdown and just drops dramatically, I don't see a lot of that changing. And, you know, what will Gareth Southgate do? You know, what players will want to go to Manchester United at the moment? It's not the name Manchester United, the history and everything else, huge. But it's not a big thing to play for Manchester United no more. You know, because they're not challenging for titles. They're not, you know, even doing anything in the Champions League. They're finishing bottom of the group stages. Come on, man. So, yeah, interesting one. Manchester United fans, let me know about that one. Briefly, little something on Chelsea. And it's to do with an ongoing case at the moment. But it could well open the doors for financial records and everything to be disclosed under the era of Roman Abramovich. And if that happens, it could well open a can of worms. I, for one, am not going to sit here and say that I would feel sorry for Chelsea and their fans or anything else, because I absolutely wouldn't. I'd love to see Chelsea back where they belong in League Two as the small little club that they always have been. It's as simple as that. You know, Roman made them rich. It was like winning the lottery. And then they were able to go and buy whatever they wanted, do whatever they wanted. And now it's all come crashing down. And I can't wait for it to all catch up with them. And then we can see it all unravel. And I'm going to be the first to be sat there laughing about it. Last piece of news involves Arsenal, and Takehiro Tomiyasu has signed a new contract at the club. I think this is really good news. It's another player that's tied down to another contract. Following on from the announcement of Ben White signing a new contract. And listen, Arsenal are doing everything correctly now. For years we were sitting there saying about players running down contracts. You know, our best assets were leaving for peanuts or for free, etc. But right now, all of our major assets, all of our big players are all tied to new contracts. There's no dramas, there's no worries. And if there was some absolutely mad, you know, offer from your Real Madrid, etc. for the big players, you know you're commanding ridiculous amounts of money, and that money will then go into buying new players, etc. Similar to what Liverpool did in a way when they sold Coutinho, was it? And then they were able to buy the likes of Van Dijk, Alisson, etc. and the rest is history. But I don't think we're at that position where we need to anyway. And I don't think Arsenal as a club are that club anymore where you're going to come in and just take our players. And I think other clubs around Europe know that as well. Players are signed to long contracts. Players are happy. It's very difficult to change that mindset. And if you are able to change the player's mindset and get the, you know, player to want to join, it's the fact that there's a 3-4 year deal still there and everything else. And you've got to go and pay top money. So listen, somebody will have to do it, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, Tomiyasu signs a new contract. I'm happy about it. If he can stay injury free, he's such an asset to the side. That's the only issue that he's got at the moment, which has been this season in particular, where he's got these injuries. When he's came into the side, whether he's right back, even covering at centre back, left back, he is just such a versatile player, and he's very, very good. And those are the type of players that you need. You really need those type of players. So I'm happy about it, and I'm sure the rest of Arsenal fans are happy about it too. So listen, there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think about today's topics. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you a lot soon. I'm out of here.